Hi, my name is Beth McGill, and I'm an energy worker and a hypnotherapist. And as you can imagine, I get tons of questions about this type of work. And so today I want to share with you um, three examples of clients that I've worked with, just so you can get an idea. So the first one I want to share is this woman that I was working with. I was going to be on her and her daughter's podcast. And so I wanted to offer a session to her so that she could experience the work that I do before I was on her podcast. So we had her session on a Friday, and her session was for something physical. She had a horrible rash and she was in a ton of pain, and the medications weren't working. So it was an issue that she needed addressed right away. And that's what we worked on. And this was via Zoom. On Monday, when I showed up for the podcast and her daughter had been with her and her daughter was with her on the podcast, we went through it and we had a great time. But then after we stopped recording, I asked her, I said, "How's your rash? Do you mind me asking?" And it was so funny because she had forgotten all about it. She goes, "What are you talking about?" And her daughter's like, "Mom, remember you had this rash on Friday and it was horrible and you worked with Beth." And it's like that. Oftentimes I work with people and they have things that are going on. And then it's like when you have a cold and you feel horrible, but then when you're feeling better, you forgot how bad it felt. That happens all the time with this work. And another example that I want to tell you about is this a friend of mine who is a businesswoman, and she had a great opportunity to change to a different location. And she had wanted to do this for quite a while, but she didn't quite have the clarity that she needed. She liked her location. There were some pluses, but when she was weighing the pros and cons, it definitely was showing evidence that she should move. But yet she wasn't sure. So I did a session with her again via Zoom. And then she felt like by the end of the session, she knew what she was going to do. But it was so funny the way that this work actually works is that the energy can take time. So the decision that she thought she was going to make at the end of the session was not the decision she made. She woke up the next morning after our session and was 100% sure of her decision. She had exactly the clarity that she needed in that moment and made the best decision for her and her business. Another example was another friend of mine who had been hit by a car. Now she was fine, but she was in every moment that she remembered what had happened when she was on this walk and getting hit by this car, she had been knocked down, um, traumatized her. She could remember the moment and she was just living in this fear of not of it happening again, but just the fear of the memory of what had happened and how scared she had been. And she would have a physical response to this memory. And I did a process with her called havening, something that I've learned through hypnotherapy for trauma. And it took about 15 minutes only. And if you were to talk to her, she would say that she's not traumatized anymore. She can remember it, of course, but there's not that response that she had before. And she was so grateful for that. So those are three quick ways that I do work with people. Again, it's a combination of energy and hypnotherapy. And if you'd like to learn more, you can go to my website at thriveflourishgrow.com. Thanks for listening. Take care.